Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I cannot begin to tell you how ridiculously happy I am to be here because it's been kind of a hot minute since I filmed. I did a little traveling. I travel for work. I'm usually gone maybe 2 weeks out of the month. Anyway, I just got back from spending a week in the UK, which is amazing. And I vlogged all the way through it. I have videos coming. Actually, I'm gonna create a separate YouTube channel just for the travel vlog. I haven't decided what I'm gonna call it yet. So if you've got a name suggestion, will you leave it down in the comment box for me? I just don't know what to call it. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know. My husband suggested Shelly Travels. I don't know. I don't know if that's, maybe. I don't know if that's the right brand. Not sure. Anyway, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think of that so I can create the channel. And I'm going to start doing that editing this week while I'm traveling. I'm also going to edit a couple other videos traveling for work this week. But it's a good time when I'm sitting in a hotel room to edit videos. I found myself taking extra laptops and things because of that. While I was gone, I got in 3 packages of cosmetics. These were all purchased with my own money. None of these came in PR. None of these were sent by the company. I'm not affiliated, endorsement like that. First one was a Natasha Denona box. So I did get the Dream palette, My Dream palette. I also got the lip kit, which I'm excited to use. And I did not buy the face palette because I didn't think that there was a highlighter in it, and I'm not overly a highlightery person. And I saw that they had another one of the blush duos that were on sale, so I picked up one of these. I don't think this is the same one that I have. This is number 10 Sheer Nude and number 16 Plum. And I thought this actually looked better with this collection than the blush, the face palette that came with the collection. I also have a Sigma, the new Sigma Alice in Wonderland collection. I bought the whole damn thing. I should not have spent that much money, but I did. And I need to find something to open up this here. Don't I have? I don't know where my tools are. They seem to, I haven't been at my desk, so I don't even know what's around here anymore. Anyway, this is the blush palette. Looks the same as all her other ones, but she does have some sales, and I thought that looked absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna actually put this on the cheeks. I do have her Transfer Matte foundation on, along with a little bit of her, this is an eye base, but I actually used as a little bit of under eye concealer. Don't know why. And then I also have a tiny bit of the Face Glow that I put on just some high points to give it just a kiss of I don't know, something, je ne sais quoi, as opposed to just being that. Because sometimes that doesn't look very healthy on ladies of a certain age. I didn't mean to grab the eyeshadow base. I actually meant to grab the concealer, so I didn't look at it. Did I mention I'm not a makeup artist or a professional YouTuber? Maybe with the travel channel, maybe I'll get a subscriber base. Who knows? Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. My channel is slowly but surely growing, and just so you guys know, I'm talking way too long. You didn't come for this stuff, but just so you guys know, when people decide to do a YouTube channel, you can't actually get monetized or anything like that until you actually have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views. So I've got a lot of views. I appreciate, you know, you guys that actually give me the views, but you could also hit the subscribe button too, and double check and make sure you didn't get booted off. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this blush here. I'm gonna take the darker brush. I feel like being in Scotland for a week, I lost most of my summer color. I do have a trip to Las Vegas. Well, actually, I'll tell you my travel schedule. My phone's making noise, sorry you guys. My travel schedule coming up is the week that I'm editing this, which hopefully this will go up soon thereafter. I'm getting ready to go to Colorado, so I'll be in Denver and the outlying areas. I think I actually need to go to Colorado Springs and Pueblo. But anyway, I'll be in Colorado for about a week. And then I'm home for a week, and then I go to Las Vegas for work. We've got a big conference down there. My husband's gonna fly down and join me for the weekend because his birthday is Saturday, October 8th. And then what else do I have? And then I think I'm home for, no, I think I might immediately go to, I think I'm going to Utah after that. I think I'm going to Utah and Idaho. It's actually a pretty blush. I did the darkest color. Yeah, I like that. That's lovely. I'll take that. I'm gonna grab a little of the shimmer in here, just kind of like as a blush topper right up here. It's too dark to be an absolute highlighter for me, which is kind of what I like. Anyway, and then after that, I've got a quick trip to somewhere warm with my husband. And then what else do I have coming up? That's in November. And then I have a trip to the Dakotas and Nebraska and Iowa. And then I think I'm home for like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. And then I've got like New Mexico and Texas, and that will finish up the year for me. So I still have a number of trips coming up. My husband says, oh, are you packing for whatever trip? I'm like, no, dude, I've got like 3 trips before that. So anyway, yeah, I love that blush. Okay, let's use the lip products that were in this collection. So there is a lip liner, a lip gloss, and a lipstick. Not in that order. I will use them. I'll start with a lip liner. So this is an I Need a Nude lip crayon. And I think this is just in her shade Natasha, if I recall. Yeah, it's in the shade Natasha, which I think I already have. If I recall, this shade of lipstick was a little light for me. She is also a lady of a certain age like me. I think we're about the same age. Maybe this wasn't too light. Here, I do a little bit of the dregs of foundation on my lips, which will be a good base for this. Okay, I don't know why I didn't like this shade for. Maybe it was the time of year, or maybe it was that I like the lip liner better than the lipstick, but that's actually really nice. Okay, I like that lip liner a lot. She changed her formula. If you see any of her lip liners with the white pencil, those tend to be very dry and kind of tuggy. I like her new brands, with the colored components, the colored pencil. I think they're actually really nice. Okay, let's take a look. I need to scoot you guys in. Let me scoot you in. Okay, that's a little bit better. So because I've been gone, I have not seen anybody's video on this. I'm falling behind on everything. Okay, so this is her. I need to see. I can't read this fine print here. Hold on. Okay, so this is 11 NB. This is the Natasha lipstick, but I feel like it has a little bit better color than the last. No, it's still pretty light, but I'm enjoying that actually. This formula is very, very smooth. These are like a matte, it's very soft to the touch, almost like I want to call it velvet, but it's like a rubberized kind of component. It's actually really nice. She did these ink spots on here, which is funny for me because as someone who's a lover of fountain pens, I have any ink spots on everything. It doesn't, and I don't know why she chose ink spots on it, but okay, so I'm guessing this is the same. Yeah, this is a Natasha lip gloss. I love that lip combination so far. Wow, this is going to be a good makeup day. All right, lip gloss. Perfect shade match. There's nothing that's like not complimentary to it. All right, I had to laugh when I saw the box because it came in this big box and it said, please do not drop on the actual box. There was like a warning label on it. I love that. She also managed to pack these very, very well. So if you order from Sephora, I think they do a pretty good job. I prefer these new releases to come directly from the brand itself, especially with Natasha Denona, because if you do the pre-release or early order on it, she tends to get them to you like the day they release to the public, which is actually pretty cool. This one I think was a little too close, but this is what the palette is. So it comes very well wrapped. There's like, a box that says label, please don't drop, and then within it there's bubble wrap, and then within that there's other boxes, and you just saw me take out that other cardboard box that had more cardboard inside of it to protect it, and then it actually has the box, and I was concerned with all of that, whether or not it would show up in one place, in one piece, and it did. So you guys have seen other people swatch this, other people that have done applications with it. I am gonna do 3 looks, but before I do that, one of the things that, hold on. One of the things that I was concerned about when I saw this was, is it too much like other palettes we've already seen? Specifically, these kind of berry colors over here, and these, I'm gonna call them gold colors over here. I was like, well, are they too similar to a couple other palettes that we've seen over the last couple years? One of them was the Midi Retro palette. So Midi Retro. So this is the Retro palette, and I love this palette. This is one of my favorite berry/neutral tones. And at first glance, I am seeing some similarities that are kind of jumping out to me. Let's do it this way. There we go. So I see some similarities to these palettes, but I don't know that I see exact matches. We'll have to see here. I think I heard, and I didn't read, sorry, I didn't do the homework on it. I think I read that she used 2 of her existing favorite shades and the rest are all new. So there's 15 shades in total. And then the bronze palette also jumped out at me for kind of those warmer tones. So that's it compared to the bronze palette. And you can tell it's not like a specific match with the berry tones. But when it comes to the bronzier, warmer shades, maybe there's a little bit. So we need to actually do some swatches. For fun though, I'm gonna do some eye looks first, and then I'll come back to watch the colors that I think might make the most sense. This is a beautiful palette. I'm excited to get into here. Do I have any clean brushes? I want to do 3 looks with this. I want to do one that's going to be kind of a work look. I want to do one that's going to be a date night look, and then one that's going to be a little bit more of a fun kind of look, because that's how I normally do my eyes. When I look at a palette, you should decide on palettes based on, do you actually need it? Not just do you want it, but do you need it? Does it add something to your collection? Does it fill a void that you don't have. So the first one I want to start with, well, let's do a look on each eye and then we'll come back and do a final look. I feel like this is your transition shade, but this one might sheer out enough. So we're going to start with that one. I'm going to start with Carpe Diem. Wait, you know what? So when I first looked at this palette, now I'm getting distracted. When I first looked at this palette, I thought, wow, you could really go down a row to do, or down, I guess those would be columns, down a column to do a look, especially if you do 2 or 3 shades and that's it. I think that gets you absolutely a perfect combination of eyeshadows. You could also do across a row, which may give you too many shades to do a particular eye look. When I first looked at it, I thought, oh, well, that's a look, and then this is a look, and then you have, you know, 3 extra shades in the middle. I am seeing that you could easily go diagonal too and get several different looks. This is a very well thought out palette. I can't say that with all the palettes. Like the Circo Loco palette, I had the hardest time figuring out how to make 3 separate or more than that separate cohesive looks, and I've decided that that palette really is more of a accent color and not necessarily as full looks. So okay, enough said. I'm going to pop into Unity with kind of a fluffy brush here because I think that is my transition shade that I'll probably use for most of the look. And I'm taking it on my brow bone just above my crease. I'm going to use this one on this side, but there we have it. Okay, I absolutely adore Natasha Denona's quality. Aspiration is this here. Absolutely love the quality of Natasha Denona eyeshadows. Probably my favorite. I think the Pat McGrath ones give me creative license. I feel very bougie and very creative when I use Pat McGrath palette. These ones I just feel like Natasha Denona is self-care eyeshadow, self-care quality. You know what I mean? Like if I really want to, if I feel like I'm taking really good care of myself, I don't know, spoiling myself, I don't know how to describe that. But I feel like the Natasha Denona is like living my best life, to use a cliche that everybody uses. The Charlotte Tilbury palettes, they're a little bit more, they feel more everyday. And I'm calling out these 3 brands because they tend to be on a little bit more on the pricier side. If I were to pick, I mean, those are, I would say that out of my top 3 favorite luxury brands, I would say Natasha Denona is going to be number 1 for eyeshadows, followed by Pat McGrath, folled by Sigma. Give it to Sigma. I do have a new Sigma palette that came in too. I'll film that next after I take this off. Okay, so there's 2 shadows, and I'm taking way too long, you guys. I'm sorry. I've got things to do. I know you do too. I'm gonna have to bump up my speed here a little bit. I'm just having such a fun time playing with eyeshadow. And I gotta tell you, on my trip last to Scotland, I actually took Tati's Texture Neutral palette with me. And it worked out pretty good. I haven't used that one in a long time, and I took it with me and I was really, really thrilled that I did. Okay, we are doing a date night look, right? Is that what we're doing with this side? I might need to even go a little bit darker with that. We're gonna layer some other colors onto it. Okay, this flat brush. I'm gonna actually grab this deepest shade right here, and I'm just loading up one side. No fallout at all. And I'm tapping on, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's crazy thinking about doing makeup when I haven't like really had a chance to play. We drove so much. We traveled a lot. We saw a lot. It was actually really fun. Okay, so since this is date night and it's a little bit more fun, I'm actually gonna grab, so that was Instinct. I'm gonna grab this shade called Vision, which in here it's reading as kind of a sparkly raspberry color, but I just broke that brush. And on, but on the palette, it reads as like a green gold, kind of like a sparkly olive green. So I'm flipping that same brush over and I'm filling up that one side of it. Again, no fallout, but I'm gonna use that on my inner. Wow, that's lovely, 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 lovely. I'm gonna have eyeshadow in my eye a little bit. This is a relatively clean brush and buff that in a little bit. I'm kind of digging this eyeshadow. So I used 2 different shimmers and one of the mattes, the matte that I used was Aspiration. I'm going to go back into that a little bit more, just kind of define this out, tiny bit more definition. And now I'm going to take the shade called Edgy, which is this dark purpley averaging color. Stamp that flat brush on my lower lash line. Because for date night, I do tend to do some eyeshadow a little bit darker. For daytime or for, you know, a meeting or whatever, I might not do as much eyeliner down below or anything kind of down below. I'm gonna clean off that brush. I'm gonna go in for the sparkly one here called Thrill. Okay, I'm actually going to carry away into the... Wow, I'm digging this. Let me put some mascara on, change my battery, and I'll be right back. There's look number one. Smoky, which is typical for me. Not quite monochromatic, which is usually my first choice in eyeshadow looks. I usually do monochromatic. This is not my favorite side of my face, but you know what? I like the eyeshadow. I'm super excited. Okay, let's do something a little bit more... Can I get a work look? We're gonna have to do something a little bit more fun, and then we'll come back and do a work look. And I've got work on the brain since I'm getting ready to go, and of course I'm looking at this going, but I love this palette. I love this palette so much. Can I take it to work? Can I use it as a work palette this week? We'll have to see. Okay, so I'm going to use a different transition shade. I'm going to use this shade right here called Nurture. It's maybe a little darker and a little taupier. This might actually be my work shadow that I use. Yeah, just on first application, I'm like, I absolutely could use this shadow for work. Oh, zero issues with quality at all so far. The color story, I think people were a little bit concerned that they had seen this before, and was it different enough? Was it interesting enough? Well, that wasn't the point of this collection, was not for her to do something that she had never done before. The idea of this was to do what she would have done, or this is not what she'd have done, she did it, but her perfect dream collection, her perfect dream palette, what would it look like? That did sheer out enough for me as a transition shade. I did carry it down a little bit lower than I need to because I want a gradient up. I'm going to use Familia, which is this one down here. I think I'm going to use just the same brush. I probably should use a little bit smaller brush, but I suspect I'm going to be cleaning brush. So I'm going to take this into my crease / corner here. So I saw that there's another new palette that came out from Nomad. I did buy several palettes from Nomad recently. What did I do with them? Oh yeah. And I've only filmed with one of them. I don't think I've filmed with the other one. So I got that. I do have several dupes that I've got lined up ready to come to you. I have a lot sitting here. Just start out. Okay. So that was the darkest shade. Love that. Feel like why is this a work look? Now I feel like I've done a work look with this palette. I didn't mean to. I'm going to leave this as a work look then. I'm going to actually take this shade right here called Serenity, which is like a taupey shimmer-ish. It's almost like a satin shade. Not even going to call it a shimmer. Light enough for me to... I was going to do a fun look, and then I got distracted by the neutrals. And now I'm like, okay, I've just done like the perfect work eyeshadow for me. Yeah, not too dark and smoky, not too heavy. I don't even know if I need much more than that. Sometimes you don't really know where a palette's going to take you until you get into it and actually start playing with it. And this shade out here called Familia, I thought that was going to be much warmer than it actually turned out on the eyes. It's not overly orangey, not overly warm. Well, shoot, you guys, that was probably way too easy, ridiculously easy to do a work look. Okay, I'm going to take the shade here called Spontaneous, which I think is probably too dark for most people for an inner corner, and I probably wouldn't do this for work. We're not going to work right now. Boy, so I tried this new mascara, you guys, and I have transfer all underneath my eye. Okay, that transfer I had underneath this eye from the mascara was serious. For fun, I'm going to use the same mascara again. Oh, there it is. So when I was traveling, we tend to find ourselves at Primark. I know that there's probably half a dozen or so in the US now. Primark used to be, originally started in Ireland as Pennies. Well, because of JCPenney's, they couldn't continue using that name and take it internationally, so they renamed themselves Primark. And we first, actually, funnily enough, interestingly enough, we first stumbled into one in Edinburgh, and now pretty much every time we go to a European city, we find ourselves in Primark. It's a place with fast fashion. It's like super inexpensive. I mean, I think the outfit I'm wearing right now, which is like leggings, a t-shirt, and a long sweater cardigan thing, I'm going to say my outfit was $15, $18, maybe. The whole outfit. It's just, so it's really, really inexpensive. It's a good place for basics. My husband bought a couple, let's see, when we were there, he probably bought 3 sweaters and a nice like overcoat kind of jacket thing. Not nice as in like super high end, but nice enough to get through a few seasons and not feel like it's falling apart. Anyway, we always end up picking up stuff. So when the first time we went to one, I think it was in Glasgow maybe, the first time we went to one this trip, we stopped in one in Glasgow, and then because it was right near the hotel, and then we ended up going to another one in Inverness maybe, or Edinburgh. Anyway, when we went to the other one, he picked up some more stuff, and I realized that I was out of mascara, and I picked up a mascara, and then I got stuck in a suitcase and I never got to use it. So I'm using the mascara that I picked up from Primark right now. The eyeshadow palettes and stuff that they had there, not super inspiring. They tend to look a little washed out for me. I have done a video using all Primark makeup before. It was one of the very first videos I think I did, so we're probably going back, you know, 2.5 years now. I think it's a good place for a lot of basics. Like, they had cotton rounds, you know, for $1. Nails, packages of nails. I should have brought some in here so you guys can see. They have packages of nails, and they have some that were like the super crazy coffin nails, but other ones that are just normal. Like I bought like French tip ones. I've got this one right here that likes to break on me, so I bought these little French tip rounded nails. They were $1 for a set of nails, and they stayed on all week. They were great. And I find when I'm fighting a fingernail that I'm trying to heal or I'm trying to grow, if I put on faux nails over the top of them, then the nail has a chance to grow and be protected underneath. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that mascara on my top lid alone, because for work I probably wouldn't do too much down below, and I think that was my gross tactical errors when I use this stuff down below. So this is the Primark 3D Lash Effect. It says extreme length, volume, and curl. It was £2.50 for a thing of mascara. So £2.50 was probably, I don't know, closer to $3.75 maybe US. The euro price per dollar has gotten a lot better, but the pound is still a bit better. It's still a bit stronger than the dollar. Okay, you guys, that is my work look. It's perfect. It's perfect for work. Shoot, do I need to take this palette with me on my next trip instead of my other one? Maybe. Okay, so we're taking these off. This is just a darker, more grown-up, a little bit more interesting one. This, I think, it looks perfectly fine. I love that. Okay, let me take this off. Let's come back and do another look. I'm kind of half tempted I need to take this on my next trip. Then I leave tomorrow morning, but I have everything packed already. Maybe I will take it, and I'll just take it in a carry-on because I haven't packed that part yet. That's where all my technology needs to go. All right, let me take this off. I'll be right back. Okay, back cleaned up. Actually used the eyeshadow base on my eyelids. So I used Unity and I used Nurture. We're gonna do Carpe Diem, which is this one right here. Probably a little bit smaller brush than I needed, but we're gonna use Carpe Diem. So leave me your questions about travel. If you guys have any questions about travel, either about certain places, what's different than US, what to expect, what it's like right now if you've never been or if you're thinking about going, those types of things. I'm just going to use the fluffier brush this time in Carpe Diem instead of the smaller one. And this is when I'm supposed to remind myself that this is supposed to be my fun look, or at least my daytime, you know, not so serious work look. Wow, that work look that I did the last time though was pretty. And I love my date night look. So I think that this is one of those combination palettes of cool and warm tones that if you don't have one, then it's a great idea. If you already have these things or shades that are like them, don't spend your money on it. This one's $69. She went up on the price of her middies. Okay, I think that might have been just a top, a really pretty shade. Okay, we're taking, wow, I love bronzy eyeshadow. This one's called Babies. That might be like the perfect all over the lid, sparkly eyeshadow look. So anyway, don't spend the money on Natasha palettes unless it's really going to add something to your collection. I'm finding myself collecting her palettes, so that's how I'm justifying it to myself. I need to do a low buy. I really do. I have too much product right now. I'm trying to get through things as much as I can, but I find myself forgetting about them. And that's not good. That's not good when I have so much money, my own personal money. I mean, nothing, very, very few things have been gifted to me by any brand. So I need to get that under control. There's literally no reason to have as much as I did. When I first started the channel, I thought, you know what, I need to buy a lot so that I can give you guys content. And then that became a habit. And now, I'm not going to say hoarder, but I've developed a collection for things that I probably didn't need to do as much as I did. I have no regrets. I'm having a blast. I've learned so much about makeup. I've learned so much about products, what I do like. Remember at the beginning, I had actually who she's become a good friend of mine. She said, would love for you to do a ranking video. And at the time I was like, there's no way. I don't know enough about it to even be able to have an opinion. I'm still learning. And maybe I'm just like you guys in that regard. I don't know. Would like to think I'm not so alone. Okay, so that was Risk. I'm going to go back into a little bit more Risk. I applied it with my finger and I don't think it went on as saturated as I wanted it to with that. So I'm just taking it within a smaller brush now. I did not watch her video when she released this, and I have not watched anybody else's video. So you're getting my unbiased opinion, my unexpert opinion. This might not even be too fun and exciting for daytime, but it's a little bit more than what I would do for work and less than what I would do for date night. That's really pretty. I'm going to take the shade called Invention, which is this gold right here, and I'm going to tap a little bit of it right in the center. Yeah, I have like, I'm not going to say all the sparkles, but I have a lot of them. Super pretty, super fun. Getting a little crepey under my eyes, but I think that's from the jet lag. I'm actually doing pretty good right now. I got a little motion sickness on the way back yesterday, but not until I landed. But when I was up in the air, it felt like the turbulence and then being on the flight for 9.5 hours. I think we had a full 24 hours of travel yesterday. And no, 24 hours? Yeah, full 24 hours of travel, which is a lot. Okay, let me clean this up. I'm trying to think, I didn't use one shade in here. I feel like I've got a piece of fuzz here. Hold on. The only shade I didn't use is the blackest black. Let's take a little touch of this on my lash line. Now, the only thing about this palette that I wish it had, because I love everything else in it, and maybe that's the reason why, you know, she has that face palette, is it doesn't really give me a true inner corner highlight. I was hoping I would have something that was a little bit more of a matte, almost like an almond shade would be really good, I think. That's just me and my personal opinion. Could I reach into another palette to satisfy what I want? Absolutely. And if there was the perfect shade in another one of her palettes, she actually puts pinholes in the back so you can push them out and rearrange them if you want to. Some people like to do that. I've never really found a need. I figure there's a reason why she did it the way she did it, and if I don't like it, that's on me, not a way to improve it. But if there were one thing I could do to make this my dream palette, I would say put in an inner corner highlight. Maybe that's, did I already use Spontaneous for that? Maybe that's Spontaneous. I've got this little tiny eyeliner brush. I'm just going to pick up Spontaneous, which is this shade right here. Actually, that little brush worked well because it's a small space and I didn't want too much shadow. Who knew that a little liner brush would work that well? Okay, let me, I almost want to use one more color down below, huh? I have that black in there, but let me clean off this brush a little bit. I think I want to use Instinct. That's this shade over here. I've kind of jumped all over the place. Now, I've used a couple of these shades more than one. Oh yeah, that's super pretty. That's a nice contrast and it pops against that black. Yeah, digging that. All right, let me clean up a little bit, put the rest of mascara on, and I'll be right back. That is my third and final look with the, I should say final, but it's not gonna be my final look. It's just the final look that I'm doing for today. With the new Natasha Denona My Dream palette. It's 15 pan palette, $69. It is high-end, and it definitely feels high-end. The shades blended beautifully together. I loved every single one of the three looks. I just got I'm swatching my face with whatever's left of my fingers. I love all of these shades. I tried every single shade on for 3 different looks. One of them I think I only used 3 shades, maybe 4. I don't know. I'm excited to have this. I'm excited to have it to my collection, you guys. I think the question was, you know, is this different enough from her previous releases? If you have the other ones, I'm going to go on a limb and say no, but if you've never bought a Natasha Denona palette before, this might be the one, because this to me is such a variety, a wide range of looks and textures and feels, and I'm thrilled. This actually might be my #1 favorite Natasha palette, and that's saying something because I do have a love affair with Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. Did I say that last time? I don't know. I don't know if I said that last time, and I just I know I didn't lie to you. Right now, this is absolutely my favorite one. I'm a bit of a magpie. Okay, so one of the things I promised you guys was swatching it compared to these 2 other palettes. So let's take a look at shades that kind of seem similar to me. When I look at this, one of the first things that I'm looking for is some of the darker shades. So like that one, that one, that one, might be similar ones to that are in here. Let's take a look here. So I'm going to take Groove, which is the first one, and we'll swatch that right there. So deep plummy purple. I'm going to grab Rebellion, and we'll take Rebellion right next to it. A little bit of a lighter shade, okay? And then there's a dark brown one in here called Apart. So I'm going to take Apart right here. Okay, so those are the 3 kind of like, I don't know, the darkest ones that I find in here. Maybe Nude Mauve. Nude Mauve is this one right here. Let's take a look at that. Make sure my finger, Nude Mauve right there. Okay. And any of these shimmers looking similar. Maybe Hello, which is this one right here. Hello right there. The formula in these shades are so pretty. This might be my second favorite Natasha palette. Anything else that's jumping out at me? Nope. Nothing else that's jumping out at me that might be a good dupe in the retro palette. So let's take the bronze palette. That's this one. And the first one that jumps out at me is Deep Dive, because we do have that dark matte black. So I'm going to take Deep Dive. So that right here. Rhodium is the only other purple in here, but it's more of a steel, kind of a dark cool, almost steel purple. And then let's take a look at some of the bronzier colors here. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 like gold shades, and her dream palette has like 3, so I guess we need to grab all of them here. I'm going to skip copper because I don't think copper is one of them. Alloy is the one that's in the middle of the bronze palette, and I'm running out of space. We're going to have to come down here. Sorry, you guys. I didn't really plan that very well. So there's a bronze, kind of a coppery shade called Alloy. I'm going to grab this one down here called Silk. This one right here. We're going to take Silk down here. It's very similar. And then the last one is called True Bronze. This one right here. Take True Bronze. Sorry, I got distracted. My husband called, but okay, so there's the 3 bronzy colors that were in the bronze palette. So I grabbed these ones, that one, that one, that one. None of the tan colors are really the ones that are in here. I thought maybe between the two there was one that was going to be kind of like Carpe Diem or Familia. Let me try Familia. Hold on, let me look. Do we have a Familia? No, Suntan is probably the closest one to Familia. Let me grab Suntan here. And we'll put that right up here at the top. Did I have another shade? Okay, so that's Suntan. Okay, so those are the shades that I think are the same ones from, how do I do this? The same ones that are kind of from both palettes. Let me grab ones that are on here and we'll try to swatch them up next to it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the one that's blackest black. And we'll put that one next to, I'm gonna actually put this on this side here. That one's a little darker. I don't think I swatched quite enough here. A little darker than that dark kind of plummier purple one from the other palette. Aspiration, which is this one right here. Aspiration or inspiration? Don't you aspire? You aspire to be things, but you can also asphyx. Don't know. Okay, so that's kind of a matte plummier purple shade. I'm gonna put that one next to, maybe I'll try it next to this one right here. Boy, that's similar. I'm not swatching it as, okay. So there's those two. They look pretty good together, actually. I'm gonna grab Edgy, which is this super dark purple, and I'm gonna put that in 2 places. I'm gonna put it up here right next to this purple right here. Pretty close. It's a little bit more purple than this is more like an aubergine. This seems like it's a little bit more purple. And because of that, I don't think it's going to show up very well next to this one that's kind of like this purple titanium one I was talking about in the bronze palette. Way too plummy compared to that one. Okay, we do have this one called Instinct though. That's this one right here in the end. We're going to grab Instinct and we'll put that one right here. More raspberry than Instinct, has a little bit more of a warmer tone to it, but we've got some similarities there. Bronzy colors. There's one called Invention, this one right down here. So we're gonna grab Invention and we'll plug you down here. All these coppery colors. That is darn near, I don't know if you can even tell the difference on this row right. Those are very close. Maybe a little bit more orange than the one that was in the bronze palette, but not quite the same as the other one. Okay, we're gonna take Spontanea here. And we'll plug you down here next to one of these other bronzier colors. A little bit lighter, more of a champagne tone. And then I have another one in here called Thrill, which is this one right here. Although I think that might be a little bit more of a duochrome, but that one's called Thrill. It seems like it's shifting color here a little bit. Very smooth consistency. Now I'm putting it down here, but I don't think it really belongs with this one, just so you can see kind of the tones. So that one feels like it's got a little bit more of a pink undertone to it. That one's more of a champagne. This one's more of like a true kind of coppery bronze that actually matches up very well with that other shade. We're doing pretty good with some of these shades. So she's saying that only 2 of them are dupes, but maybe they're some more similar than we think they need to be. Okay, we're gonna take Nurture, which is this one right here. Make sure my fingers are dry. We're gonna take Nurture and plug it down here next to this one. Okay, very similar in the cool tone kind of matte category. Yeah, I like that. Okay, because of that looked so close, I'm having good luck thinking that maybe Babies is going to be like another one of these. Grab a swatch. A bunch on Babies. We'll take Babies next to this bronzy. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so the only one I haven't tried to match up yet is that very top one. We're going to take Carpe Diem, which is this one right here. Take here up at the top, that one. Okay, kind of hard to see. I'm going to have to zoom in, but actually not that different. Similar enough. So here's my final unprofessional, non-professional, like I have no reason to have an opinion other than I'm just like you, hopefully maybe just like you, playing with makeup. learning as we go, realizing that makeup is just for fun and it's washed off at the end of the day, and if it makes you feel great, fantastic. But when I swatch these three palettes side by side, I'm seeing that there is a number of shades that are close and similar. So if you have the 2 other palettes, do you need this one? I'm going to say no. If you don't have the other 2 palettes, then by all means, this to me is a fantastic usable palette. So you should be seeing the swatches here on your screen. Okay guys, that's it. Love the lips. I don't know why I didn't like this shade before, but I absolutely love the lips. The blush palette, again, is not the one that I came with the collection, but this was her number 6 in Sheer Nude and Plum. And I think these shades worked absolutely perfectly with all 3 eye looks. 0 issues with that at all. I have no complaints. I'm thrilled to have this in my collection. I think I'm going to take this to work with me next week. Wasn't going to do it. I have stuff already packed. I don't remember what I have packed, but we're going to switch. We're going to go with the high-end stuff because I'm super excited about it. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I know this was longer, but I wanted to get it out to you. And I don't normally do swatching videos. There's a reason why, because I can't figure out how to get them, you know, straight on my arm. But I don't normally do swatching videos, but I do 3 looks of one palette. So if you're not new here and you're thinking about making the decision whether or not you want to stick around or not, my videos don't always run this long. I try to keep them like around the 20-minute mark, just because I know you guys have time to do other things and not time to sit here and watch me babble on. Speaking of which, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys stick around, and I will see you in my next video, which should be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I wish you nothing but love and happiness, and until my next video, bye for now.